three things that stood out to me once he enters the vehicle.
What are those three things?
Can I stand up again?
Sure.
When we canvassed the home, we couldn't get anyone on the neighborhood, no one on the block reported hearing a gunshot.
I'm sorry, can you speak up? I can't hear you.
No one on the block reported hearing a gunshot, and the West Bloomfield Police Department did not get any reports of a gunshot. So the thing that caught my attention is once the door closes, the car is enclosed, that's going to muffle the sound, potentially. So that was one thing. I see the door closed. Okay, that lines up with other stuff. Secondly, you can see Mr. Bahri with an object in his right hand consistent with the firearm make a motion towards Decoyle Moore's head. Again, consistent with the autopsy report and what is in the video. And then the third thing is you can see Mr. Decoyle Moore's head immediately drop forward, consistent with no longer being alive.
When you see this, okay, as you continue watching this video in this format, then do you notice anything else unusual going forward from that?
Yes, we're going to watch the Kia Sorento is slowly going to roll backwards in the driveway. So there's a couple of things right there.
What are you seeing there that is of note to you?
If you look at the rear of the vehicle, the rear brake lights flicker on and off a couple of times as it backs up, just showing again that the car is backing up. So at this point, as I was watching it, obviously the car is now out of view. So I focused a lot of attention on the headlights. So as you can see, the headlights back up in the vehicle. At one point in the video, the headlights stop moving, consistent with the vehicle stopping. You then see an unknown figure walk in front of the car, blocks the headlights. So the headlights you'll see will flicker on and off as the figure walks by on the bushes to the left.
So I'll rewind to 9:40:41 and play again. That flicker at 9:40 and 46, what you're talking about there, sir?
Yes, sir.
The prosecutors, I want you to assume that the prosecutor's theory in this case is that my client shot Mr. Moore in the head at the top of his driveway, and then Mr. Moore drove down my client's driveway, backed his car up, and then drove off out of view of the video. Do you understand that statement, the facts I want you to assume? Mm-hmm. That would be completely impossible, correct? Given the nature of this wound.
It is possible if the decedent lost consciousness and pressed on the gas pedal.
And then he would also be able to steer this car down the driveway?
No.
Okay. This injury's, and when you said seconds, I mean, if anything, that would be an exaggeration. His death was instantaneous, correct? Within 1 or 2 seconds. Correct?
No, not 1 to 2 seconds.
How many?
20 seconds to a minute.
20 seconds to a minute?
Mm-hmm. Yep, multiple seconds to a minute, yep.
Multiple seconds?
Mm-hmm.
Well, 20 seconds to a minute's a minute now.
Yep.
Okay, this would be similar to a severed aorta, would it not?
No.
Not?
No. No.
So you're saying that Mr. Moore could have navigated his car down the driveway?
No, I didn't say that.
He couldn't have? Do you remember testifying at the preliminary examination?
Yes, I remember.
Okay, and you remember saying it would have been possible for him to drive a car after suffering this injury?
Yes.
Okay, and that's because it would be impossible to drive a car, correct?
Yes.
And after being shot in the head, you wouldn't assume that Mr. Moore would drive down the driveway and then put it in drive and drive away. That wouldn't happen, would it, in your opinion?
No.
Okay, so it's pretty ridiculous to think that Mr. Moore was shot in my client's driveway and then drove away, correct? Do you think that's what happened?
Not sure what happened. I can't
Okay,
comment
do you
on
think
that.
after suffering this injury he drove a car anywhere?
No.
Okay, thank you.
I just have
for-
just one follow-up question, Your Honor, if I may.
You may.
Dr. Reyes, Mr. O'Brien asked you a question about, do you help prosecutors?
No.
You consult with prosecutors, correct, at
Yes.
times? Do you consult with prosecutors prior to having already established what the manner and cause of death are in any particular case?
No.
So by the time you're consulting with any prosecutors, it's after you have completed your autopsy report. Fair to say?
Yes.
Thank you. I don't have anything else.
Real quick. So you're a completely unbiased witness, correct?
Yes.
How many times have you testified in your career?
5 to 10 times.
5 to 10 times?
Yes.
You've only testified 5 to 10 times?
Yes.
How many times have you been called by a defendant?
Can you please repeat the
How
question?
many times have you been called as a witness by a defendant?
Um,
None?
none.